Welcome to week 9 of the Sunshine Owl Cowl. Last week we completed the body of the owl, and this week we're going to add some features to it. We're going to be working across a section of the circle from last week, and we will be turning our work and working backwards and forwards. Our starting point is going to be to either start with 3, joining any single crochet and chain 3, which will be your first treble crochet, or you can use the standing treble crochet, which is my preferred method, as those of you who've been following the video will well know. So I'm doing a standing treble crochet, a little bit fiddly, but I still prefer it. And then we're going to do another 5 treble crochets into the next stitches. So it's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to stick with you pretty much through all of this because it's not particularly long, so we can do it together. Okay, so we've got 2, 4, 5. We want 1 more because we need 6 in total. Our starting one plus 5. Okay. The next is going to be to do 5 double crochets. So we're decreasing slightly in the height here. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that one again. Split the wool. 4 and 5. So here's our 6 trebles, 5 double crochets. Then we're going to do 5 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's just have a look at that. That is 6 treble crochets, 5 double crochets, 5 half double crochets, 6 single crochets. Now we're going up the other side, so we've got to mirror it. So we're going to do 5 half double crochets, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to do 5 double crochets, and then we're going to finish with 6 trebles. Okay, so finishing with 6 treble crochets. 2, 4, 6. Now if you count these stitches, you should have 38 stitches along there. Row 2 and row 3 are exactly the same as row 1. So let's do row 2 together. We're going to start with 1, 2, 3 chains, which is our starting treble. We're going to turn the work. Always when you're working with double crochets or trebles after a chaining turn, you don't work in that stitch, you'll work in the next stitch. So we're going to do another 5 trebles, so we've got essentially 6 trebles. 3, I've got 2, 4, 5, one more, 6. Now we're going to do 5 double crochets. Five half double crochets, six single crochets, five half double crochets, five double crochets, just go back and do that one again. It didn't feel quite right. One more, and then into our last 6 stitches, 6 treble crochets. And into the last one, our 6th one. Okay, can you start to see how your ears are starting to take shape here? And we're going to do one more row exactly like that. So we're going to do our 6, start with 3 chain, 5 treble crochets, 5 double crochets, 5 half double crochets, 6 single crochets, 5 half double crochets, 5 double crochets, and 6 treble crochets. So I'll let you finish that row on your own, and I'll see you at the end of row 3 in a short while. At the end of row 3, and just be careful that you actually do work the last of your treble crochets into the top of the 3 chain. If you suddenly think you haven't got enough stitches, that's probably why it gets worked into the top of that. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn. This is now on row 4, and here we're going to again do our 5 treble crochets, the first 3 chains being the first one of 6, go back and do that again. Yarn's not cooperating. Okay, so there we've got our turning 3 chain plus 5 treble crochets. Then going to do 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. 1, it's different from the previous rows from this point, 2 and 3. And then we're going to do 20 half double crochets. So 1, 2, I won't count out aloud. Okay, so there we've done our 20 half double crochets. Now we've got 3 double crochets because we're doing the same as we did on the other side. 1, and 6 treble crochets. And you can see how nicely our ears are starting to take shape over here. Row 5, nice easy one for us to do. We're going to chain 1, doesn't count as a stitch, and then we're going to turn the work and we're going to, into that first stitch, chain 1, 1 single crochet, chain 1. By the way, you have 38 stitches all the way through all of those rows that you've worked previously. Now you're going to work a single crochet. So in that corner one, you're going to do a chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Then you're going to work a straightforward single crochet all the way to the last treble of the previous row. So I'll leave you to do that and I'll see you at the next one. I'm now in the last treble crochet of the previous round, and into this one we're going to do 1 single crochet, a chain and another single crochet. Now along this edge here we're going to work 10 single crochets. Work them into the actual stitch, don't work them around the stitch because you're going to end up with problems then. So just spread out 10 little, and be a bit tricky to get into there, but just persevere. So 10 single crochets all the way down that edge, and I'll catch up with you when you are down there just to talk about how we're going to bridge the head to the body. You can put more stitches in this area if you choose to, but just remember what you've done so that you can do the same thing on the other side when you get there. I've done my 10 single crochets along that edge. Now I'm going to do a single crochet into that space and a single crochet to 2 together. So we don't complete the single crochet, we just do it like that. Then into there, pull up a loop, and effectively we're decreasing 1 across that edge. Then we're going to work a single crochet into each of the stitches all the way around. So that's pretty straightforward. I'll leave you to get on with that, and I'll see you when you get to the next join between the body and the ear, so that we can just do that single crochet 2 together again. Right, so I'm now at the point where we now need to connect the body to the head using our border row. So I'm going to do part of a single crochet and finish it off in there and just pull it through all of them. So it's a single crochet 2 together. Then what we're going to do is work our 10 or more, if you chose to do that, single crochets up the side, and then join into that first single crochet of the round over there. Once you've done that, I'll see you for the final round of the body before we start making the eyes and the beak. Okay, the finishing round of the owl body and head consists of a single crochet in each stitch. Very straightforward. Vanessa has put this down as an optional round because some of you are finding that your owls are working out a little bit big. So if you decide not to do it, that's absolutely fine. My recommendation is that if you are doing it, do it in the same color as the granny square that you put in the center of the actual blanket. I'll tell you why I say that. It just makes it much easier to sew the two together. You can then use that same color and you won't have as obvious a join as you would if you now used a different color. So we're just going to do a single crochet in every stitch all the way around, and then join when you get to the end, and then I will see you to do the eyes and the beak. There we have the body and the ears of the owl ready for the next. We're now going to make the eyes. The pattern from Vanessa has got two different eyes on the owl. One is open and one is closed, so it looks like the owl is winking. You can do it this way, or you can have two closed eyes or two open eyes. I'm going to do it the way that Vanessa has, and you'll see how I make both eyes in that process. The color choice is quite important. For the closed eyes, all the rows are worked in the one color, and I would suggest a light color. I'm going to go with my cream color here. So the closed eye is worked all in that one color, and the other eye is worked with color changes. I'm going to start in the center with the light blue, then I'm going to have the dark blue, then I'm going to have the white, and then I'm going to have the gray for my eyes. So perhaps just take a look at Vanessa's pattern and decide what colors you're going to use before we actually get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with the eye that has all the different colors in it as a starting point. So we're going to start either with 4 chains and join into a circle with a slip stitch, or with a magic circle. We're then going to do 2 chains, which is going to be our first half double crochet. Then into the circle we're going to work a further 11 half double crochets. Effectively we will have 12 stitches into our circle. When you get to the end of the row, join into your first stitch, either with a slip stitch or with an invisible join, whichever you're more comfortable with, and fasten off and wait for me, and I will take you through the next round. Before we continue on to the next round, just make sure that you definitely have 12 clearly identifiable stitches. So I'm going to mark that one as my first one and count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Just double check that at this point, because it is quite easy to go wrong. We're now going to work 2 single crochets into each of these stitches. So join in your preferred method. As usual, I'm going to do a standing single crochet and into any of these stitches from the previous round, and 1 and 2, and into the next one, 1 and 2. Continue all the way around until you have 24 single crochets. Then you can join again using your preferred method. You can fasten off, and I will see you for the next round shortly. Right, for the next round, round 3 of the open eye, we're going to start with a double crochet. So if you are using the more traditional joining method, please join and do 2 chain. I'm going to do a standing double crochet, and then into the same stitch I'm going to do another double crochet. Okay, so you've got 2 double crochets in the same stitch to start. We're then going to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets in the next one. And we're going to repeat this 1 double crochet in one and 2 double crochet in the other 10 times. Once you've done that, do 1 double crochet into the last stitch and join at the top, and you can fasten off, and I will see you for the final round. Of round 3 of the eye, you should have 36 double crochets. We're now going to finish off with one more round, which is our round 4, and that is simply to do a single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So I'm going to use my standing double crochet into one of those stitches. I normally move away from where I ended the last one, just so that I don't have too many ends to sew away in the same place. And we're going to go all the way around into each of the 36. Pleased with the colors of my eye. And again, when you get to the end of the round, join, fasten off, and that's the first eye completed. What you're now going to do is you're going to work a second eye, exactly the same but all in one color. So I am going to work my second eye in the very creamy color there, and I suggest that you do that, and then I'll see you when both eyes have been done, and we'll do the beak together. Our 2 eyes ready to join the body. We'll now be working on moving on to the beak. Beak round 1 is going to be exactly the same as the round 1 for your eyes. So either using 4 chains and a slip stitch to join into a circle, or your magic circle, and then do 2 chains as your first half double crochet. Then we're going to do a further 11 half double crochets into our ring. You're then going to join with a slip stitch into the top of the first stitch, and wait for me, and I will be with you for round 2 of the beak. I've joined, and we're going to do 1 chain, which doesn't count as a stitch, and then into the same places where we joined, another 2 single crochets. So 1, 2 single crochets into that stitch. The next stitch we're going to work 2 single crochets. To the next stitch we're going to work 2 half double crochets, and into the next stitch again 2 half double crochets. In the next stitch, double crochet and a second double crochet. To our next stitch, 2 treble crochets, let's just stop at this point and have a look at what we've done. We've effectively worked 2 in each stitch until the bottom here. Now we're going to actually work 1 treble crochet into that bottom stitch down there, and then we're going to carry on up the other side in the same manner. So we're going to have 2 treble crochets in the next stitch, then 2 double crochets, two half double crochets, 2 half double crochets, 2 single crochets, just been joined by Benjamin, my dog, and then we are going to join into with a slip stitch over there. Okay, so that's now round 2 of the beak. I'll be with you now for round 3 of the owl's beak. Start with chain 1 into the same place as joining, do a single crochet, then work another 11 single crochets all the way down that side. When we get to that 1 treble crochet right at the point of the beak, we're going to work 2 single crochets into that. So just keep going until you get to the stitch over there, the one that's on its own. You see that? It will actually be 11 single crochets, and got one more to do. Then in that stitch which is just on its own, one more. In the stitch there that's on its own at the point of the beak, you're going to do 2 single crochets. Continue doing 1 single crochet. I'm just going to fix that one. I split the yarn. Continue doing 1 single crochet all the way up the other edge. You'll do 11 of those, and then you're going to join, and that is our little beak completed. Right, once you've finished all the little bits and pieces, you can pin those into place and stitch them to your owl, to the center of your blanket. You can also then put some little eyelashes on your eyes. You just have a look at Vanessa's picture and you'll be able to see how she's done it, and that's just using a simple tacking long stitch. A message from Vanessa that I'll read to you. I would just like to say the biggest thank you to 3 fabulous ladies for all their hard work behind the scenes. Kogi Naidu, who took my handwritten pattern and did all kinds of wizardry on one of those computer things, and who was also my fabulous pattern tester. Debbie Hensley Coldenbrun, that's me, for her magical video tutorials that got us through some tricky rounds. Anki Kars for translating my pattern into Dutch, which allowed so many more sunshiners to join in on the journey. Designing this blanket and being with everyone on their blanket journey in the Cal has been such a magical, wonderful experience. I'm so proud to say that there are sunshine owls sprinkled all over the world, and I hope they bring as much love and joy to those who own them. I truly hope that you have all enjoyed this journey with me, and I hope to go on many more fabulous crochet adventures with you beautiful sunshiny people around the world. Vanessa invites you to visit her on Facebook at her Hooked on Sunshine page, and she sends much love and gratitude from Ness. I think you'll all join with me in thanking her for this wonderful journey she's taken us all on, and for being prepared to share. I only know too well how much hard work goes into this, and from the bottom of our hearts, Vanessa, thank you. This is Debbie Hensley Coldenbrun signing out. I'll see you next time.